Hey YouTube, so this is Shayla from Making Lemonade from Lemons, and I just wanted to kind of go over the our high school homeschool curriculum, because as you know, I have anybody who's followed me knows that I have two boys, 14 and a half and just turned 12, who are both doing high school curriculum. And we use the Heart of Dakota, curriculum. And so this is the first year high school curriculum. All right, so Hearts for him through high school, and this is world geography. So this is the curriculum. And as I've shown you guys in the past, it's got world geography, geography activities, living library, it's got world religion, it's got foreign language, logic, literature study, composition, grammar, Bible, math, science, with lab. It's got literature study, composition, and grammar. So it has pretty much a wide range of things that you can do in here. And then in the beginning of the book, it tells you everything that you need. And then here is your suggested grading for the different courses within the curriculum. Okay, so let me just go over the books that we have. If you guys don't know anything about Heart of Dakota, Heart of Dakota is very much a Charlotte Mason type curriculum. So there's lots and lots of books. They learn almost everything through reading books like this instead of like a specific textbook for history and reading and that kind of thing. Now, they do have some textbooks, and we'll get to that. But let me go over the geography portion. The world geography also includes, the main package also includes your Bible, because it is a all-inclusive, and it is a Christian-based curriculum. So the Bible is already in the history package. You don't have to do that portion if you don't want to. Like I said, I like it. So, I mean, we're a Christian, so it's a really good thing for us to do. And they get credit for, I believe it's a half a credit for Bible. And then the next year they'll get another half of a credit for Bible. So, so they get credit for it. So it's another thing. And so Jesus did many other things as well. Short stories out of Japan. That's one of the books that they will have to read. Sundar Singh, Footprints Over the Mountains. World Religions, an Indispensable Introduction. So this is their world religion also is included. So it's not just Bible. They have Bible, but they also have world religions. So you're studying about other religions. So far, in one of the books that they are reading right now, which I don't have in front of me because they're actually reading it, But Don't All Religions Lead to God, and that one teaches about Hinduism, and it teaches about Islam and Buddhism, and there'll be some other information on some others as well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Then here's God's Global Mosaic, and then Mimosa by Amy Carmichael, which is a true story. Sitting at the feet of Rabbi Jesus, how the Jewishness of Jesus can transform your faith. Foreign to Familiar is part of their geography curriculum. Then a book of discovery, they have already started in this. And it talks about the exploration. So this talks about history, as well as the geographical areas. So it talks about Herodotus and different things that, the Greeks, the Romans, all that kind of thing. It's really an interesting book. My boys seem to really enjoy the historical parts of the curriculum anyway, so that's good because they enjoy it. Queen of the Dark Chamber, and then the 7 Wonders of the World, and as you see, we are already working on that. They've already done some. It's got some really neat pictures and stuff in here. Then they've been talking about the pyramids. They've also done a little bit of looking at things about like places like Petra and that kind of thing. Mapping the world with art. This is another thing that they are having to do whenever it comes to. So this actually kind of incorporates art as well as the geography, which is really cool because then it's easier for them to learn. But then they've got readings that they have to do, and then after they do readings, they have like map drawing. This is Mesopotamia, which they just had to draw, and it gives you information about the Tigris and the Euphrates, and they will have to do this one at some point, the Nile River. And then they have an activity. So they are going to be making Babylonian clay map, but instead of using the edible clay, they're going to use a different recipe of clay. And this has them making the stamps so that whenever they make their clay map, then they can make these symbols. So anyway, so that's one of the things that they have to do. And then we have the archaeology book, and this one is really cool also. It's got lots of neat pages and pictures and information. So it's more, and my boys really like these types of books anyways, the ones that have the information written, and then they have the little pieces here that you can, look at. So they have talked about the Tower of Babel. They've talked about Persia, and they talked about Petra. So, and then it's got some information. Like I said, it's got information on Petra. So, really cool. And then, along with that, then they also have their Rooted and Grounded. This is for their Bible. And so this is their teacher's guide. They have their own notebook like this that's bound like this. They also have other notebooks, and I think that they're working in them right now. But they have notebook pages that they have to fill out information. They have to do drawings in there. They have to do some other activities and their narrations and stuff like that. Some of those things go into those notebooks. So, and they're basically notebook pages that we put into a 3-ring binder, and they're really pretty also. They're not just black and white pages or anything like that. They actually have color and everything, and so it's very attractive for the boys. It gets their attention. One of the things that they are doing beyond the geography and Bible is that they are also learning, they have a logic class, and I'm finding little stickers and stuff from where my kids have been playing in here. So they're learning logic, the fallacy detective, and they have little assignments that they have to do. So what I do with them, because I have 2 that are doing the same curriculum, is that I just have them complete their work into a separate notebook instead of completing the workbook in the workbook, because I also plan to save this for my youngest, who is 10. He'll be 11 in December. All right. They also are going to do the art of argument. I'm really not sure how I'm going to like that, because they like to argue anyways. But maybe it'll teach them to argue nicely. That would be great. I doubt it, but anyways, it's part of their logic. And so they haven't started this yet. They've been in the fallacy detective. So I'm not sure exactly how I like that, but we'll see. All right. And then their English. If you don't have you can get your own separate English curriculum if you want to. I chose to go with this because we have been using the Rod and Staff English that comes with the Heart of Dakota from the beginning. So this is our 5th year homeschooling. So this is, even though it says English 7, it is not for 7th grade. This is just the 7th level book that they have. And you see, I tab their work so that all I have to do is put the tab marks and let them know, okay, you're doing written exercises or whatever. Really, actually, to be completely honest, what I do is I tab the work like this, and then I hand them the curriculum, and I tell them, here, go and do your work, and make sure you get it done, and then we'll go over it, and I'll grade it. If you have any questions, you can come to me, and I will talk you through it, because they're in high school, and so I'm trying to prepare them to be independent learners. So that's what I do. And they have the teacher's manual so that I know all the correct answers, although I haven't really had to use it very much, because I still remember it from whenever I was a kid. But anyways, I really like it because, and this is one of the reasons I said that you don't have to use this if you don't want to, because this is actually, Rod and Staff is very Bible-based also. It's Bible-based English, so they have lots of statements in here that are, it talks about Peter and Paul, Mary and God and Gutenberg and those kinds of things. It talks about, sometimes it has scripture, that kind of thing. So if you are not wanting a religious aspect in your curriculum, then you will not want to do the Heart of Dakota English. What you'll want to do is you'll want to get your own. This is sold separately from the World Geography portion of the curriculum. So each course of study is sold in a bundle under the main world geography. So under that, it has your logic. You can either do it or not. It's got your English. You can either do this one or you can do another one, so you don't have to purchase this. That kind of thing. Then the next thing for English is Essentials in Writing. This is their English is literature and grammar and writing. So I kind of like it. This one has DVDs that they're supposed to watch, and then once they watch the DVDs, then they have activities in here that they have to do. And then of course I have to go over them. So then they have their fundamentals in literature. Now this is and the grammar are one of the things that I was saying that I would get to talking about texts. This is a textbook. This is what you would see in schools whenever they had textbooks. I know some schools do, some don't, some do everything on the computer, but anyways, these are what you would, what most people, especially most people my age, would remember. They had textbooks like this where they would read the stories, and then they would have exercises that they would have to do. And then the teachers had their teacher's editions, which is here, and they have color-coded information here. And so it's great. I mean, this is where they have their actual textbooks. But whenever it comes to their history or those kinds of things, it's actually a lot of reading books, which I really like. And that's one of the reasons I like Charlotte Mason. Okay, so their literature portion, they also have to read Treasure Island, Ragged Dick, or Street Life in New York with the Boot Blacks. I've never had to read that, so that should be interesting. But these are books that are supposed to be more along the interests of boys, because I have all boys. Then there's Captain Courageous by Rudyard Kipling, Men of Honor by Howard Pyle, The Children of the New Forest by Frederick Marryat, and The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. Now, one of the things that they also have the book Shane. I don't know where that is at the moment. The boys have taken their books out of their crates because this is where we normally keep them. And so whenever I was looking through to see if that book was there, I couldn't find it. It's here in the house somewhere. Somebody's probably taken it off and started reading it before they're supposed to. Anyways, and then they have their Getting Started with Spanish. So this is their Spanish lessons. They have really short lessons, really. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to speed up. I'm going to speed up their Spanish in this book. And then I'm going to get them another Spanish curriculum to go with this. Because I just think that this is going a little bit slower than I remember doing myself in school. And they can remember a lot quicker than this. So I'm going to pace it out a little bit differently than what the curriculum says. But that's their current Spanish. Then they have algebra. They did do some algebra last year, and I really just decided that I was going to go ahead and go with algebra again this year, because I think that one of the things that was very difficult for me as a kid was doing algebra in middle school and then going straight into geometry, and not really, it was very, math was not exactly my easiest subject anyways. And my middle son, and especially he's not real fond of math, and neither is my oldest, to be honest. But so I just think that doing a different, because this is a different curriculum than what we did, and I like this curriculum probably better. I think that it actually explains it a little bit better, and they have lots of practice. It has incorporated tests and quizzes, so that's good. And what they can do is, what I generally have them do is, I have them do the odd numbers one day, the even numbers the next. The odd numbers they can check for themselves in the back here to make sure that they're doing everything correctly. And then the even numbers, I have the teacher's edition if I need it. I haven't really needed it, really, just to look to make sure that I was right. And anyways, so that's pretty much their curriculum. They also are doing, oh, I forgot their science. So their science is, it's lots of different, okay, so they have 12 of these booklets. It's integrated physics and chemistry, and it's packwork, so paradigm accelerated curriculum. So they have integrated physics and chemistry. They have 12 of these booklets that are called their texts. Then they also have an activity booklet, and this is where they're supposed to do they're supposed to fill these out. They also do these on in a notebook, so that each person can do their own work. And then I'll have them for Evan whenever Evan is old enough. And then they have a lab kit that comes with it. There are also tests and quizzes that are in the teacher's manual. So they've already had one quiz. Quizzes and tests are not in the original grading, suggested grading, but I think that the tests and quizzes are important, especially because when the kids get out of high school, they are going to have tests and quizzes and that kind of thing. And even though I think the most important thing is learning the information and understanding the information, I also think that it is important for them to learn how to take tests and quizzes properly. So they've had one set of quizzes, and they will have another one this week. They have weekly, basically it's weekly quiz until they get done with a text. And then once they get done with a text, they will have a test on the text. So they have 3 quizzes generally, and then a test. They're also currently doing music as an elective. It's music theory, and they are these, which is what is the name of that? And they're also doing health as a high school elective, and it's an accelerated. it's also an accelerated, because what they do is they take these and it gives them information. It's just like a workbook, really, and same thing as the science. They write their answers in on notebook paper, that kind of thing, and they have a test for every booklet. And for their music, they also have CDs that they will have to listen to so that they can show that they can recognize certain pieces of music and that kind of thing. So those are just electives that they have, because I think it's really important for them to have a well-rounded curriculum, and we may pick up an instrument, whether it's the keyboard or the guitar. So anyways, I just thought that I would show you guys the curriculum that we are currently using, and if you guys like the video, if you'd click like, subscribe. If you think that this video would help someone else, click the share, and we'll see you soon.